Hello everyone, I am back with a recipe for you today. Somebody requested this after I mentioned it in one of my vlogs, so I'm having it for my lunch today, so I'm going to film it while I make it. And that is, you can't see the title under there, it is the fish chowder. There we go. Now this actually does come from this lady here, the batch lady. This is her cookbook that she's brought out. Shop once, cook once, eat well all week. It's absolutely brilliant. There's loads of amazing recipes in here for batch cooking that you can make and freeze and everything. There's different sections. There's meat, there's chicken, there's desserts, there's veg, and there's fish. So like I said, this recipe does come from her recipe. Slightly different. The recipe I got is on her website, thebatchlady.com, and she's also got a YouTube channel out where she does film it, but there is a version in her book, which is the luxury seafood chowder. The only difference I can see is this one adds peas and sweet corn to it as well, but I'm just making the basic that I got off the website. So what you're going to need, she works in cups, so I've actually worked out the equivalent. So it's 65 grams of diced white onion, frozen pre-chopped onion. She uses all frozen veg and stuff like that, but obviously if you want, you can make this using fresh ingredients, you know, there's no problem there. But obviously both me and the batch lady both use frozen veg. So it's half a cup or 65 grams of chopped white onion. You want half a litre, so 500 mils of fish stock. I'm using the Tesco fish stock pots, or you can use stock cubes or fresh stock, it's entirely up to you. You're going to need 150 mils of milk, so I've got my skim milk here. You're going to need a quarter of a cup of cream, which is 60 mils of cream. So I've just got the Tesco's own there. You're going to need 15 grams of flour, plain flour. 250 grams of baby potatoes. I've got these here, and you need to chop them in half. So I'm going to weigh them out. I'm not going to peel them, obviously. I'm just going to wash them under the tap and chop them up. And you're also going to need a packet of the fresh fish pie mix. Fresh fish pie mix, which is skinless and boneless, and this is Tesco's. It's a 390 gram packet, I think. Sorry, 340 grams of fish pie mix. So just one packet of those, which has got salmon, cod and haddock, I think. Smoked haddock, which is the yellow one, salmon and cod. So yeah, just one packet of that as well. And optional is dill. Again, you can use fresh or you can use frozen. I believe they do frozen. I don't know whether they do dill in frozen, but I know they do certain herbs in frozen now. Or you can use the dried. I've got the dried. I won't be adding a lot of dill because I don't like too much. The flavour it gives to me is very aniseedy, if that's a word, which I don't like. So I'll just add a sprinkling of that, if any. Usually I forget. So that's what you're going to need for it. And I'm just going to run through how to make this. I've just boiled the kettle for the stock, which I'm going to make up first, and then we'll get cracking with the actual chowder on the stove. Okay, so I've made up my stock. That's the first thing you need to do. If you're using a stock cube or a stock pot, you need to get your stock made up first of all. Obviously if you're using fresh stock, it'll be ready made for you. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the onions onto the heat. So just pop a little bit of oil in the bottom so they don't burn. Okay, so when you've got your oil hot, so it's 65 grams. So we've got 65 grams of onions in the pot. I'm just going to give those a quick stir. Going to wait until they're a bit soft. Okay, so it's about 7 grams of flour actually. rather than 15. And I'm just going to add that to your onions and just give them a quick stir in. This is just going to thicken the soup up. And then you're going to add your stock. I love the hiss it makes when it goes in. Melted. Just put the remainder of that in. Okay. And then just give it a quick stir in, and keeping it on a high heat. So we're now going to add our baby potatoes. So I've weighed them out and just given them a bit of a wash. Just going to give them a bit of a chop up now. Once your potatoes are chopped, you're just going to add these into your stock. Come with me. Pop goods. Lost a few there, didn't we? Oh no, they all went in. There we go. So we're just going to pop those in there and cook those now for about 10 to 12 minutes until the potatoes start to soften. Okay, so after about 10 minutes, when the potatoes are starting to soften up a bit, we're now going to add the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so we've got 1/4 of a pint of milk going in there. Just get that stirring because some of the potatoes are starting to stick to the bottom. Then we want 60 ml of the cream. So that is about 1/4 of a cup. These are my cups, so there we go. 1/4 of a cup of cream going in there, lovely. Top back on the milk. And you're going to add your fish in there as well. Just give that cream stir in. So haddock, salmon and the cod all going in there. And then if you're adding it, your dill goes in with this now. I've decided I'm not going to add it to this one. Like I said, I'm not that keen on dill anyway, but if you were adding it, this is the space to add it into now. I'll just give that a bit of a stir around. It'll take on this lovely creamy texture. And just add a little bit of seasoning, so a touch of salt and pepper in there. Again, just a bit of a stir. And then we are going to leave that to cook now for about 5 to 6 minutes, just on a medium to low heat, just until the fish is cooked through, because that's all that's left to cook in there now. But keep coming and checking back on it just so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan like I did with the potatoes. So there we go. We're just going to leave that now for the 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm just going to serve this up now. So I've got a bowl, obviously, because I'm having a portion now for my lunch. And I've got 2 containers here, and that's going to freeze the remaining of it. So if you are freezing it, you need to make sure you cool it down to room temperature first before you put it in the freezer. Same with any food. So I'm just going to portion this out now. So 1 in there. Right, I don't know whether I'm going to be able to do this one-handed. Let's put this down. There we go. In there. Go. I'm just going to pop the Actually, no, I won't put the lids on. I'll let that cool first without the lids on. So, yeah, I'm going to leave those two to cool to room temperature, and then I'm going to stick those in the freezer. And then I'm going to go and eat this now for my lunch. So, fish chowder, thumbs up from me.